If it's pullover, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. And grow your coins, you gotta grow your.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm the Crypto Pro. It's currently 11:08 a.m. A little early. Still waking up. My eyes feel a little irritated. But we are live, and I'm seeing this weird stuff happening. There's this person in chat. Like, uh, what's going on? Alex, Alex. Uh, oh, yeah. How about now? Oh man. Yeah, can't really hear you. Okay, hopefully it's all better now. Um, I had a feeling I was going to have some sort of mild audio issue. And for those of you guys that are new around here, I have launched a new channel, and this is definitely the videos on this channel take hours and hours and hours, and I'm going to post it in chat. Make sure you go subscribe. Basically, all the videos are edited 10 to 12 minutes, a lot of just hard hitting data. So, yes, you've caught me live, Rito. Glad to see you. And yeah, go subscribe because I would love for this channel to like ultimately take over this one and then just leave this channel for kind of live rambling and things moving forward, just live hangouts and things like that. So make sure you check out that channel if you don't mind. What happened to the link? Oh, there they are. Yeah. So subscribe to that channel, please, if you don't mind. Also, Murder of Crows NFTs, still moving. And recently, oh shoot, where'd that link go? Well, you can't see it, but if you look on JPEG store, you'll see all of the twisted times. So basically this, because we basically gave those away. I think we gave away like 100 of each of these to Murder a Crow holders so that they could start on the little treasure hunt. And man, people are having a hell of a time in Discord with this. And listen, it's not super easy. I mean, I'll tell you that, but I think there's a rhythm. Like people will start to find a rhythm once they start cracking some shells. I've had to give some big clues. I gave a clue in a video, I gave a clue in this video, which is on my new channel. I gave a little clue that is starting to drive people, I think, in the right direction. And people had to have been watching that video like a hawk to catch the clue because it was very quick. And people will like freeze framing and stuff like that. But the Discord, I mean, people are working on it. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. And I would really like to see. I'm actually shocked because when I was looking at Twisted Times on JPEG store, I don't even know if anybody's buying or trading these at all, which is kind of shocking because there's only 100 of each of them. And 5%, there's a 5% royalty. I make nothing. I literally make nothing off of this Twisted Time series. And the 5% royalty from secondary market sales is all going into the Twisted Times treasure hunt wallet. So I seeded that wallet with like 1,000 ADA, and 5%. Anytime somebody buys or resells these on the secondary market, 5% royalty is going into that wallet. So at some point, once somebody figures out all 24 words of the seed phrase, they're going to unlock that wallet and be able to empty it. And so people are really working, trying to figure it all out. But they need help. I will tell you that they need help. So it is what it is. Those JPEGs look like garbage. Idiot. Anyway, So yeah, so make sure you follow the new channel if you don't mind. Make sure you like some of those videos, make some comments, try and help give this an algorithm boost, because I've got 3 more coming, and then I'm going to start hitting some really hard hitting, like kind of how to make money type stuff that I think is going to be really helpful to the channel and you, because you know my way. I'm not just going to do these videos just for clicks and views. I want them to be genuinely helpful to people. And hopefully over time, as the channel grows and I can enlist people, because right now I have an editor. I've been editing everything myself. I have a really hard time with kind of handing stuff over to people. And I'm really trying to get myself used to that. Because I see what happens. Some YouTubers, like, they get really big, but the more people you have on your team, the more difficult it is to kind of keep tabs on who's doing what and what's accurate, what's not accurate, your gut feel on this or that, and how that relays into the your script and everything. So yeah, I it's just kind of, we'll see. I'm working on it, because I really do want to have a crack team that's really helping, but I really want I want the videos to just blow up, and I want them to do really well. So anyway, urgency to draft U.S. crypto regulations has slowed since the market collapse, top banking regulator says. So basically what we're going to be talking about here is what I believe is going to be the plunge of the crypto market. Not forever, but I think that there's a lot going on right now, and I think I'm going to help explain some of it in the Crow way. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong makes a big crypto prediction as BlackRock and Meta enter the space. Now, some of you, I would assume by now, are pretty familiar with BlackRock. Okay, I mean, they basically manage like $10 trillion of the world's economy, and a lot of what BlackRock does is managed by, you guessed it, artificial intelligence. I think it's called Aladdin. It's basically this AI-driven hyper processing system. It's almost like Skynet. And was it Larry Fink, I think is the gentleman's name? Very much a World Economic Forum proponent. Very much I think he's a part of the Council on Foreign Relations, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. This guy is a big deal, right? I mean, he's probably the most powerful individual, I mean, I'm guessing, in the world. I mean, based off of what the assets he controls and what he's accomplished. And he actually started off as a failure, believe it or not. I mean, he lost like $100 million at some big firm, and then went out on his own, and then he basically took the world over. So, people who try to judge others by their failures, idiot. Because that doesn't mean anything. That's basically, oftentimes I find one's failures is a learning experience that helps drive them. That's why I never judge people based on their past. And I just had this discussion with someone, and I'm like, I don't judge people based off of the mistakes of their past. We've all made them. And there are, in this world, it's so easy to make mistakes, right? I mean, and just in life in general. And Larry Fink basically made a whopper of a mistake, losing $100 million starting out. And then he took that experience into what is now BlackRock. And, here's the thing. When I am looking at, so I'm going to pull up my actual trading view here, because I haven't gone into this in a while. And I'm assuming we have, yes. Yeah. All right, let me show you guys this. Hold on. Because we have crossed over, which I've been waiting for a while. And I think you guys are gonna finally see what I've been digging. You're gonna smell what the crow's been cooking. So here we are. You can see here we had this crossover. Let's see, so that was the 29th. I was 4 days early. So you'll see here, back in June 13th, I predicted that we were going to see a big crossover here, and we did. This is the 50 weekly moving average over the 100 weekly moving average. And sure enough, we crossed. What happened when we crossed? There's only 124 of you guys watching right now because of YouTube just not liking me very much after the channel termination like a year and a half ago. There should be like 3,000 of you right now. So it's difficult when I'm dropping stuff like this and there just aren't that many eyes. But the reality is I projected this all the way back here in June 13th. And what did I say was going to happen? I said towards the end of August and then probably into September, we were going to start seeing a significant dump in the crypto space. And I was waiting for this to cross over. And what I'm ultimately waiting for here is for us to touch on this 300 weekly moving average, which I believe we're going to be doing probably fairly soon. I'm guessing we've got a little ways to go. When we touch on this, we're going to be looking at a $17,400 Bitcoin price. Okay. I believe we're going to wick below that. If not, now here's the thing on a weekly chart. If we touch on this and bounce back up and we start to move in the opposite direction, cool. We're getting a reversal. We might have actually seen an official bottom where it's confirmed. If we close below this 300 weekly moving average, we are going to take a huge dump. Make no question about it. We're going to take a huge dump. Now, the question though is how is this dictated by the news of Larry Fink, BlackRock, Coinbase, basically all of the stuff going on with Meta and so forth and so on. Well, what do I think? What I honestly believe? I believe that they're going to push this market much further down before pumping the absolute holy hell out of it. Why? Because BlackRock has the power and the means, the resources, the connections, you name it. I mean, basically BlackRock is almost like if any corporation in the world could control a government, it would probably be BlackRock. I mean, there's so much to it, and do some digging on BlackRock. Now they're getting into the crypto space. So what does that mean? I think ultimately that means an initial pump down. I think this means a plunge in the crypto sphere. And they're going to continue accumulating. And as they're accumulating, my guess is their algorithms, their artificial intelligence, all of that, all of the tools that they have at their disposal will start accumulating some of the better cryptos in the space. I think that they're likely going to start investing in a lot of layer one technology. I believe Cardano will very much be one of them. And the very fact is, once they've accumulated, I think we're going to see a significant pump. And then what I believe is going to happen is once they have truly entered the space, they will basically be able to control this market. And I believe that gone will be the days of severe volatility. I believe this may very well be, and I predicted this years ago. I mean, I have said, and if you go back to my previous videos, I have said that I believe this will be the last market cycle as we know them. Because when everybody's talking about the major institutions entering the space and all of that, I can't help but see when you're talking. So let me change the screen here a little bit. So when you're talking about the crypto sphere, you're talking about a lot of speculative investors, right? You're talking about, early on, all you had to do to invest in a project and make 1,000x gains was throw some Ethereum you're mining up at some random address and you would get tokens back. Okay. There was no KYC or AML. There was no regulatory anything. We still don't really have regulation today for the most part. I mean, if you're a bad actor, somebody's going to come after you. Even if you're not a bad actor, I've seen people targeted for different things. But more often than not, the governments, the regulators, they're going after the really bad actors, right? And when I think about that whole thing, and I'm thinking about the lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? Policing in the crypto space. When you're talking about the hacking, they're trying to start the government. This whole tornado cash thing. That's the government basically trying to step in and say, we're getting rid of these hacker safe havens that are able to take hacked funds and spin them out in a web and then out the back end, basically laundering this money, hiding this money so that they can ultimately use it, right? We're seeing some of the key tools associated with dishonesty in the crypto space being attacked. right? And I believe that a lot of this stuff is happening now because it's not just about the retail market, it's about protecting the institutional markets. The institutions don't want to enter the space at a high, for one. They also don't want to enter a space that is so much like the Wild West that there's no real regulation or control over what's going on. So we're seeing a lot of this stuff happening. And now that a big corporation like BlackRock is getting into the space, you've got a company like Meta getting into the space. You've got some of these huge companies that we all know are in cahoots with all of the major global players. Okay, whether you're talking about the WEF, which, you know, obviously I reference the WEF a lot in my content because of the Fourth Industrial Revolution book that I suggest everyone read. A lot of this stuff. I mean, basically, we're being ushered into a world that's going to be very similar, in my opinion, to like Ready Player One. Okay, if you haven't seen that movie, go out and get it. I mean, it's a really good movie, for one, just for sheer entertainment value. But ultimately, I believe that that's the world we're going into. And so that's something for you to consider. Now, as we continue to move forward in this space, you're seeing so much of this regulation stuff coming down the pipe. You see Biden, oh, we're gonna regulate it. We're gonna figure this out. You guys have so much time to figure this out. A lot of that is because a company like BlackRock wants to get in, right? I think that we're gonna see such a huge change in the way the crypto sphere operates. I think that we're gonna start seeing the issuance of CBDC tokens. I've already stated my case about CBDCs and what I think those are going to be. I think that stable coins are going to be widely targeted across the board because I don't think any government wants these non-state issued, state-owned stable coins being the peg from which all retail and institutional markets do business. No, they want the CBDC token to be utilized. They want something that they can control, that they can regulate, all of it. I do believe that we're coming to a time where we're going to start seeing all fiat gateways put you directly into a CBDC token before you get into or out of anything else, because the governments want to know what's happening, right? If you're hacking and you come up with some money and you're trying to exit a position or you're trying to take that money and clean it out, it's going to go into a CBDC first. And every one of those transactions is going to be tracked. Mark my words, every crypto transaction in the cybersphere is going to be tracked, okay? That's also why we see a lot of hoorah about privacy tokens, which I don't take any part in, because to me, privacy coins, while I get it, it's just begging for trouble. I mean, I'm so like quote unquote trouble averse. I just don't want to deal with it. A lot of the young people out there that are kind of like rebels without a cause, so to speak, you do your thing, but that's not really for me. So we're going to see a lot of that stuff go away, and we're going to see a lot of that stuff outlawed, and we're going to see a lot of that stuff regulated to hell in a handbasket. So that's what I see coming. Now, the flip side to this is once companies like BlackRock and a lot of these other groups have officially entered the space, they're running their AI, they're basically making market moves. I believe we're going to start seeing a lot of the longs and shorts, a lot of the liquidations either way start coming to a much more narrow window. Okay, the losses aren't going to be as strong as we're seeing right now, and I believe that because of that, we're also going to see more stability in the crypto sphere. All right. If you look at some of my previous videos where, like, one, I compared the current market of Bitcoin to the 2003 into 2004 and beyond NASDAQ market cycle, it lines up almost identically. I mean, I still have it. I mean, it's still right here. It's the white outline. I'll show you. It's this white line right here. This is the 2003, 2004, on and on and on. This is the NASDAQ market. Okay. And if you see it, it's obviously it's different, but it's very, very similar in terms of price action. I mean, look at it. The dips are the same. The pumps are pretty much the same. And every once in a while, we'll get a complete polar opposite reaction, but that's also depending upon the news and what's going on in the space. But in natural market trend, it's almost identical, and it continues to go out and further and further. I mean, and basically, according to this, we don't see a turnaround until June of 2023. And then from that point, it starts to go up, and there's still volatility in the space. But as you can see, I created this channel a long time ago. I created this channel quite some time ago with basically a top of around 47,000 and a bottom around 24,000. But we also didn't have everything going on in the economy, the wars, stuff, all all of the division, the political craziness, everything that's going on. We haven't really seen that probably since when? 2009, when Bitcoin was first in devised. So when we're seeing a lot of this stuff, yeah, there are going to be some outliers in the price action, but ultimately what we're seeing here is very similar. You can even see how this is lining up quite perfectly. So as we move forward, this just becomes a bigger and bigger deal until we move into 2024. Okay, here we are in 2025. Bitcoin's showing, in 2025, 44,000. I can go out even a little more, I think. Hold on. Let's pull this out as much as we can. We move into this territory. Boom, December 26. Here we are at a $64,000 Bitcoin. We continue moving up. We basically touch around $100,000 in January of 2027. All right. That's just based off of the NASDAQ's 2003 market. Okay. But before, and why do I think that's going to happen? BlackRock and other institutions getting into the space and controlling the market. Because when they're in the market, what do they want? Yeah, at that point, Bitcoin likely will become the official store of value that we're all looking for, right? That we all say it is. And I believe that it's going to be the institutions better controlling the space, along with the regulatory bodies of different countries controlling it. And here's the thing, when the government controls it and they can see everything that is happening in the crypto sphere, they have no reason to try and shut it down anymore, because then it becomes a tool of theirs. And I think ultimately that's where we're heading. So to some degree, I believe that this is when the early adopters really start to this whole cycle here, this whole bottom, this bear market cycle. This is what I believe is going to separate the men from the boys. I mean, so to speak, because this is going to be where the weak hands get kicked out as the strong institutional hands pick it up. It's basically picking up fumbles in a Super Bowl. And who wins are going to be the ones that have accumulated throughout this time period, have put themselves to work, have continued to either develop applications or develop tools that are going to be utilized in the space, so forth and so on. I mean, you guys get the gist, but I do believe we're going to go lower first. And I think that, how low we go, I truly don't know. But what's profitability of the mining realm right now? 16 grand. So maybe we drop down to 16 grand as the new low, and then we start turning around from there. $16,000, that's really not that far down. I mean, we're currently at 18.8. We can go to 16,000 over this week, and then maybe start working on a turnaround once we've wicked down to this 300 weekly moving average. Yeah, I can see that. And it's likely, in my opinion, it's likely going to happen, especially since we finally got this crossover. So, that's the way I see it. So basically what I've already begun averaging in, right? And I will likely have a deep dive video into BlackRock and a lot more of this stuff in my other channel, so that it's really edited. I'm not rambling. I'm not losing thought and you're losing track of what I'm saying. That's ultimately what that channel is all about. So I'm going to link it again, actually. Make sure you subscribe. And if you like my content and you want cleaner versions of it, make sure you follow me and subscribe on this channel. It's pretty important to me. Every video that I'm putting out on this channel, it's taking hours. It's taking me 3 to 3.5 hours just to edit each video, and they're only 10 to 12 minutes. Okay. And then on top of that, all the research and everything that goes into writing the scripts and trying to present everything in a really clear way, so you can get in and out better informed than when you started. So make sure you follow me on there. Greatly appreciated. Leave your comments under the videos. Just do what you can if you don't mind helping the algorithm. I really do appreciate that. So let me take a quick look at the comments here, see if there are any specific questions I can be helpful with. Internet is not the best. Okay, yeah. All audio fixed. Sounds great. Okay, cool. Boom, package good now. Good. All right. So much better. Perfect. Regards from PR. Well, regards. How's the weather over in Puerto Rico right now? I've got some people waiting to put a new roof on that dang on house that I want to do a video on Windmar Solar at one of these points. I'm going to show all the pictures and the videos of everything they did to destroy my roof. and basically how much damage that has caused me through leaking and other damage in the property that we're now having to completely redo. Gosh, I tell you what, it's an absolute disgrace. I don't even know how that company's operational, quite frankly. Looks great. Love all my murder of crows, but damn, actually, Andy is harder than National Treasure. It's really not. That's the thing. I don't think people realize. So the people that are trying to solve, I basically pointed out that, like, hey, actually, Andy is the very first. It's the first NFT in the Twisted Times treasure hunt that you really have to solve in order to get through everything else. And once people have worked through it, they'll understand. But once somebody has completed actually Andy in full, they will better understand what I'm talking about and what sense is to be made of it. And I do have the complete order from start to finish, like which NFT is first, which NFT is second, so forth, all the way down to Unity at the end. But that's actually Andy. And there are differences here from these on this website and the ones that are actually minted and trading and things. So yeah, but you know, I sit sometimes at night and I just watch the Discord chat go, and I just see all of the ideas and just how intricate people are trying to get with their ideas of what's going on, and I just chuckle. And sometimes if I see somebody, if they think it's about a particular crypto, or I'm sending a message about this or that, and sometimes I'll just say no, like that's not, you're in the wrong direction, because I don't want anybody going out and like maybe buying some crypto they think I'm supporting or I'm into or whatever, and it's just not the case. So that's not the idea of any of this. Everything is pretty well self-contained in each individual NFT. Okay. So, and to be honest, you don't even have to buy these. You don't have to buy these to participate. Okay. All you need is the image, not these, but if you go to like JPEG store, you can look through. I'm pretty sure you can right click and save as, and you can do everything from there. You don't have to own the collection, but there are 100 of each of these that are minted that people will own and can own and do own on the blockchain, on Cardano. So I'll just leave that at that. You do not have to purchase to participate. But yeah. All right. So control freak is the term. Really appreciate where you're coming from, and I'm looking forward to those videos. Good. I appreciate that. I come to channels like yours for education, and it helps pass the time while I drive this truck around. Thanks, Incognito. I appreciate that. And you know why that actually means a lot to me is because I listen to, well, I haven't as much lately, but I've always loved listening to Coast AM. And it's a lot of the truck drivers, man, who are just delivering stuff from state to state, and they're out there on the road. And honestly, to me, fighting the fight to like get everybody the stuff that they need. And you know, I know a lot of you guys listen to like Coast AM like real late at night, and you call in with the stories and things, and I love it. But yeah, I'm glad to know that I'm like helpful to some of you guys that are out there doing that job. When I was real young, a friend of mine, his dad was a truck driver, man, and he'd be gone for like 2 months at a time. And it was rough. It wasn't the greatest. Have you seen any correct guesses in the Twisted Times treasure hunt? Not really. Not really. I mean, everybody thinks that they're going to study the photo, they're going to study the picture and figure out the seed word. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And it'll make more sense. I tell everybody, if everybody could collectively work together, get into the Discord, if you could collectively work together to solve actually Andy from start to finish, you'll have a much better understanding as to the flow of the rest of them. I see people, they're studying every other card and they're trying to figure everything out. And it's like, that's cool. That's fun. I get it. More power to you if that's what you think is going to help. But ultimately, no, it's not going to help you. And you will have to solve actually Andy first. And I've been abundantly clear on that, but a lot of people choose to do their own thing. Big downside incoming. All these other YouTubers are too bullish, calling for the moon when there's clouds everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I get it, because you know why? Because nobody, if you're If you're doing Moon Boy content, you get all the views and and everybody all pumped up, and that's how you kind of keep going through a bear market. Guys like me who just try to call it as I see it, you know, we get all kinds of shit. We get the haters, we get the angry people because they think we're trying to like push the market down because we're whales and we're trying to buy in cheaper. It has nothing to do with that. There's a big difference between you know, it is what it is, you know. I mean, to each their own. Some people love that positive sentiment. No matter what, you know, your house is burning down around you, but there's a cup of water over there in that corner. If you go get it, I mean, it's like, all right, cool. I mean, if that's what that some people just love that. I mean, it's no different than anything else I see today. It's like this cognitive dissonance, right? It's like everybody wants to believe something so bad that they try their best to tune out anything to the contrary. And that's why I'm always trying to keep a very open mind as to what's going on. I try to absorb what I think is factual, and I leave all the bullshit behind. And, you know, that's just not the way everyone operates, unfortunately. 11K ADA so far in the 40s. I hope to get 15 to 20K. That's very cool. That's very cool. I do believe that, I mean, post Vassal, so we've got the Vassal hard fork coming on September 22nd, which I do believe is a big deal. But I believe that once that has happened, I do think that Cardano is likely going to dump as well. Sad to say. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Cardano at 30 cents, at which point I'll probably buy more. But yeah, I mean, everything's going to take a dump. And you're always going to have these articles that come out and are going to try and pinpoint crypto that are down. Oh, what are we going to do? This crypto's down 30% in the market. Everything's down, dumbass. Like, it's so stupid. A lot of this stuff is all about, you know, I don't know what it's like. I don't get it, but it's all nonsense. The entire crypto market is down. The entire stock market is down. The global economy is down. Okay. I mean, there are multiple countries talking about a recession right now. All right. And that's to me, it maybe not by design for whatever reason, but I will say that if we're looking to adopt an entirely new economic model and an entirely new like global system, well, everything's going to have to crash first. How do you change? How do you fix something that's not broken? I mean, that's all there is to it. How do you fix something that's not broken? Sometimes you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. I mean, there are a million analogies I can go into. And I'm not necessarily saying it's all for the better. I'm just saying that if you're trying to question what's actually going on in the world today, it's really not that difficult to understand kind of the grand narrative, what's happening and why. And the people that are prone to be in positions of power over this global economy are already lining up. They're already getting in. They're already getting involved. We see it every day. So, you know, it's it is what it is. I don't know what to say other than that. It's like I'm afraid to say too much, but you know how it is. I don't want to get flagged I mean, I'm already pretty much shadow banned. I mean, out of 140,000 of you, 144,000, however many, 135. I mean, I've lost more subscribers than anything recently. And, you know, how many of you are actually getting notified when I go live or do anything? When there used to be 2,000 to 3,000 people, you know, I could go live and there'd be 2,000 people. Right now, there's 215 of you. Okay. And yeah, I know that there's some drop off in a bear market. I mean, that's universal, but not that much. And this started before all of that. So Solana is trending 200K tweets right now on Twitter. I mean, that's cool, but that doesn't mean anything. Everybody could be posting turd memes, hashtag Solana. Absolutely, those jerk offs want you to not succeed. They want to sell paper Bitcoin derivatives at 1,000x premium. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see some of that. Finally caught you live. Good day. Well, good day to you, Max. Bitcoin will be like gold and silver. BlackRock is JP Morgan, the guy when he was alive. They helped governments and nations. Yeah, I mean, do some deep dives into BlackRock and what they've done and how they do it. And I think you'll be very, very, very surprised at what this one individual has ultimately built in his lifetime. I mean, it's like, how do you not look at someone like that? And here's the thing. I look at someone like that and I think to myself, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, and I know other major corporations and investment banks and investment firms and whoever, they're all paying big fees to gain access to this Aladdin AI driven market, computer or whatever, this max headroom in a box. And it's like, cool. It's amazing. I almost wonder, like, how difficult would it be to build something like that? Not something that, like I have Crow Trader, right? My trading bot, it looks for little strategies in a particular pair that you set and all that. But what sort of algorithm could be built, and how difficult would it be to build an algorithm that not only monitors the entire crypto space as a whole and then breaks it down further into each individual trading pair, but also the traditional stock market, the housing market, all of these different verticals with investments, right? And then tie that to political and social sentiment. And I would love to see, how would you build an algorithm that can kind of quantify, qualify, and then calculate all of those different variables, and then ultimately complete a a sentiment, an overall market tone. Oh, this is a good time to buy, this is a good time to sell, that sort of thing. I would love to see that. Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Tornado Cash is like the Second Amendment, only for a few bad people. Honestly, I don't particularly care for things like Tornado Cash, and it's not because I'm some tyrant or anything. I feel like if you take away the tools that the dishonest use to rip people off and hack them and rob them and things like that, then you'll see a lot less of it. I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. And no, the argument is not the same for, like, if you take people's guns, then people won't rob other people anymore. That's not it. But I will say that it's the same as, like, if somebody were to go into a bank with ill intent and they leave with a big bag full of money, and then that when they open that bag and all the money is instantly dyed, it's all like greened out or whatever, or it's like bright blue, can't use it because everybody knows this is dirty money, this is bad money, you can't take it, or we'll report it. And so, like, what happens to that money then, right? It's all been basically destroyed. And so, that's kind of the principle that I see, like with Tornado Cash. If they cut the snake off at the head, well, all you have is a flimsy body with nowhere to go. So, but that's just my own personal opinion. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here at about 40 minutes. Yeah, I will make sure you leave your comments down below, and obviously it helps the algorithm. Smash the like button if you will. I'd greatly appreciate that. I need all the algorithmic help I can get in YouTube. And yeah, until next time, guys, crow your coins. I'll see you again real soon. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know. I love reading the comments after I go live. And I don't respond directly, but I will say that when you do leave your comments, I do not talk about WhatsApp, and I do not want you to contact me. I'm not going to give you a phone number. Those are all impersonators. It's all fake. It's not me. And you can see in my name on this particular channel, there's a check mark next to my name. So if it doesn't have that, it's somebody impersonating me, trying to bait you into something. So until next time, guys, crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.